The Bitcoin Group, the American original. For over the last 10 years, the sharpest Satoshis, the best Bitcoins, the hardest cryptocurrency talk. We'd like to welcome our panelists. I'm Thomas Hunt from the World Crypto Network. Moving on to Issue 1. Issue 1, FBI arrests Alabama man for SEC hack that spiked the price of Bitcoin. FBI agents arrested a man in connection with the January 9th hack of the X, aka Twitter account, belonging to the Securities and Exchange Commission. A fake tweet posted on the SEC account that day sent the price of Bitcoin spiking by more than $1,000. An Alabama man named Eric Council Jr. is charged with conspiracy to commit aggravated identity theft and access device fraud, the DOJ said. Thomas Hunt, what do you think about this issue? Well, thanks so much for having me on the show. It's great to be here. Big fan. I think it's a little too much. It seems to me he used a SIM swap attack to get control of the SEC's Twitter account. Unfortunate as it is, the SEC needs better control of their devices, better control of their accounts. It's such an important account. If it can move the price of stocks, if it can move the price of Bitcoin, maybe they need to put 2FA on there. Maybe they need a second level in addition to SIM-based 2FA or cell phone 2FA, which we all know is incredibly weak. As the SEC in the article says, the person executed a so-called SIM swap attack, allegedly, to reassign the cell phone number of a person who's had access to the SEC's Twitter account. And that's about it. They're very upset about this. It made the price go up. I think that part of this, they're trying to say that the only reason that the Bitcoin price went up is because this guy got a hold of somebody's phone and put out a tweet, as if Bitcoin had no value on its own and it wouldn't have gone up anyway. Maybe this does make the price of Bitcoin go up more in the short term than it's supposed to, but I do think long term, the price of Bitcoin just keeps going up. Speaking of the price, let's go ahead and check in with the Magic 8 Ball while we're here this week. Last week, I think the ball said up and everyone agreed, and the ball was very, very right. Checking out this week, first we'll check the panel. Thomas Hunt. Okay, so I'm always bullish on Bitcoin. I always think it's going to be worth more. I think it's one of these generational things where every time you get a chance to invest in it, you're making the best investment of your life. And sometimes you have to sell, sometimes you need to buy things. That happens. The problem with Bitcoin as such a unique investment is it keeps going up. So it keeps ruining your plans when you're like, I sold on the high, I sold on the other high, I sold on the all-time high. And then it keeps going up. But not financial advice. Do what you want to do. And now checking with the 8 Ball, will the price of Bitcoin be higher this time next week? This is a very accurate shaking technique here. And it is outlook good. Outlook good. The ball is bullish. Let's move on to issue 2. Issue 2. Coinbase shares up 27% in October as Bitcoin rallies to $68,000. The crypto industry's flagship company is on a roll, benefiting from a sector-wide rally that is pushing the price of Bitcoin close to its all-time high. So far, Coinbase stock is up around 27% this month, from 165 to 210. Obviously, I don't think this is a big surprise when Bitcoin goes up. Crypto stocks, Bitcoin stocks such as Coinbase and others also go up. I think mainly it's just a congratulations to Coinbase and an example that people are still investing in legacy investments in traditional stocks like Coinbase and MicroStrategy. And in a strange way, because they're linked to Bitcoin, they're having incredible gains. I know my stocks were always trying to balance out Bitcoin, maybe have some tech stocks. Of course, tech stocks also go down when Bitcoin goes down. When the economy is going down, no one buys your tech things, even though I keep buying the tech things. So it's funny to say the correct stock approach probably would have been this, allegedly not financial advice, whatever, would have been this kind of crazy Bitcoin approach where you buy Coinbase, you buy MicroStrategy, but then you're really just doubling down. You're saying if Bitcoin goes up, my stocks go up. If Bitcoin goes down, my stocks go down. So it's not really diversification. It's just a new way to bet on Bitcoin. But 27% in October, pretty great for a stock. Speaking of Bitcoin, checking in with the price of Bitcoin at bitcoinal.com, our favorite Bitcoin charting website. The price of Bitcoin is $68,514, with a last of that and a high of 68,886, a low of 66,971. That's $1 for 1,460 Satoshis. That number just keeps getting smaller. You get less and less Satoshis each time you buy Bitcoin if the price keeps going up, as it seems like it does. Check out World Crypto Network at worldcryptonetwork.com, where we've got lots of shorts. And I agree, some people like shorts, some people like long shows like this one usually, where you can get a nice long show. But the thing is, the way that YouTube works these days, and it's not my choice, YouTube is configured to promote shorts. Shorts are very popular and very addictive. They say if you watch TikTok for 30 minutes, they have you addicted. Snapchat followed the same pattern as TikTok. Now YouTube is following the same pattern as Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram. They all have these little instant small videos. And now, thanks to AI, we have them too. Last month or whatever, for example, we got, I think, 21,000 views on the small videos, 2,000 views on the live videos. So we're getting 10 times as many views on small videos. Not my choice, but it's how their attention spans are gone. Moving on to issue 3. Tesla transfers $760 million in Bitcoin to unknown wallets, fueling sale rumors. Thomas Hunt. Well, obviously, I like the headline. I think fueling sale rumors is a great pun because we all know that Teslas don't take any fuel. This isn't a big surprise. They've bought and sold Bitcoin before. They've changed their mind on Bitcoin before. It's always shocking to see they have 11,500 Bitcoin, and of course that they moved it all. Now they have less than a penny in their accounts. So they're moving it all. Maybe they're going to sell it all. Maybe they're not. But once again, I don't think we want large companies to hold large amounts of Bitcoin, even though the opposite is happening every day at the ETFs. The ETFs are hoovering up thousands of Bitcoin. I think there's at least the top 3 took down 7,000 Bitcoins a day recently. That's 21,000 Bitcoin going to the top 3 ETFs. A much bigger deal than Elon and his little 11,500 Bitcoin. I think to look at this from another way, I think the main reason that a company like Tesla or another company might want to sell their Bitcoin is because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing when you have Bitcoin on the balance sheets because it outperforms the actual job that your company does. Tesla made more money from holding Bitcoins than they do from making cars. Maybe they should just get rid of the whole car thing and hold Bitcoins professionally like MicroStrategy does. I think it's embarrassing to other companies, and we're going to see more of that. And then in the end, they're going to say, why did we do that? Why didn't we keep the Bitcoin? Moving on to issue 4. Italy considers raising capital gains tax on Bitcoin. Bitcoin tax from 42% to 26%. Italy is raising capital gains tax. It's a bit unclear. It seems like they're mainly raising this on businesses. So businesses that are investing in Bitcoin, not in individuals who are holding Bitcoin. As it says at the very end of the article, we're not raising prices on citizens. As we promised, there will be no new taxes for citizens. The raised capital will be directed to healthcare and the most vulnerable to ensure better services. So while I don't think it's quite the knee-jerk fun article that we all want to react to, where we say, I can't believe it, they're raising the tax on citizens from 26 to 42%, we can say that it is an incredibly large raise. Right? It's a 200%, it's a 1 to 2%. They're doubling the tax So it is saying very clearly that Italy doesn't want their companies to invest in Bitcoin. As I said in the previous topic, once a company invests in Bitcoin, why bother making widgets anymore when your Bitcoin values outvalue the things that your company makes? Why fix clocks? Why sell sodas? Why do any of these things? And I think, not that I think they're worried about that. I think they'd rather just get some sweet tax money from a position where they think companies will want to hold Bitcoin because the price keeps going up. Moving on to issue 4, my favorite issue that we always talk about every time it comes up in the news. Man who accidentally threw a hard drive containing 8,000 worth of Bitcoin into a landfill sues the local city council for not excavating the site. And I think this is the logical outcome to this. I think it's unfortunate that he didn't think outside the box here. This is a generational amount of wealth. We're up to $500 million. So $500 million are in this landfill. I think he should have ran for council. I think he should have said, look at what we will build with this incredible amount of money in our district. We're going to build swimming pools. We're going to build citizen malls. We're going to build indoor walking paths. We're going to give out free raincoats and free umbrellas. It's England after all. It's Wales. Sorry, not England. So I think he should have done that. I think he and 2 or 3 other people could have run as a slate. They could have taken over this council, and they could have done it democratically. Now it seems like he's trying to do it through the power of the law and saying that the government blocked him from this site. The government's official reason for not wanting him to dig in the landfill, even though he now has engineers and professionals who have mapped out the site and described how they're going to do it, they claim it would be an environmental problem, that digging out some of the garbage might make some of the other garbage fall on it. I also think personally it could be a privacy problem. Many other people could have thrown their hard drive into the trash, assuming that it actually becomes trash and had their valuable secret documents on there. And if he's going through finding every hard drive in this landfill, that's an unreasonable violation of their privacy. So that's where I would go with it. But again, if he took over the council and he said, I'm going to build you new swimming pools, we're going to build, I don't know what a town needs. We're going to repair the town center. We're going to rebuild the leisure center. We're going to have free stuff for the residents, whatever it was. I think that would have been a better way than suing them, which is the way he's going. This story comes up every few years if you guys haven't heard it. Once again, the unfortunate fellow, James Howells, had a $8,000 Bitcoin on a hard drive. He says in the past, he always held on to hard drives. He always kept them. This one got put in the wrong pile, the wrong stack, got put into the trash bag. His girlfriend said, I'll drop it off at the dump on my way to work. She took the bag, and there went his 8,000 Bitcoin. We talk about it every time just because it's a recurring story, and it's just part of the Bitcoin lore. It's currently up to 495,000 or 495 million British pounds, $647 million. And the interesting thing about these stories is the longer that you're in Bitcoin, the more that this value is going to go up, right? Like right now, 647 million, pretty bad. 1.2 billion, 2.5 billion. At a certain point, somebody's going to buy this landfill from the town council. It might not be James Howells or his company, but someone will buy it, someone will dig it up if it hasn't been smashed. Last time, let me know in the chat, I think you guys agreed with me last time that it's probably smashed by now. Like it is a platter, it's 3 or 4 platters, it's got the needle thing in there, and the pressure of the other garbage and etc. would have compacted it by now. But maybe they still got to get in there. Maybe they can get it off the plates. At a certain point, somebody's got to take the bet on this because the value is going to keep going up. In the same way, I have this really fun Mad Bitcoins costume contest we did in 2014. People donated the money to the winning costumes, and the guy who won with the alien suit, it's up to about $6,000 right now. So as Bitcoin keeps going up, maybe there'll be a mystery where they'll say, what happened to that $6,000? If it goes up to like 600,000. But obviously this 8,000 Bitcoin is always going to be interesting to people, and they're always going to wonder, could they have gotten it by digging it up? Let me know in the chat, what do you think? Will they ever get the money? is it lost forever? And we're running out of time, but we didn't have any guests today. Some people canceled. It's just a bad time for people end of the year here, end of October, whatever. But it is the 11th anniversary to the day of the original Bitcoin Group show that we did with myself, Mad Bitcoins, Andreas Antonopoulos, Davi Barker, and Derek J. Freeman. Here's just a little bit of that show from October 18th, 2013.
The Bitcoin Group, the American original. For over the last 10 seconds, the sharpest Satoshis, the best Bitcoins, the hardest cryptocurrency talk. Issue 1, Walmart and Bitcoin. If your Bitcoin is so great, why can't it be accepted in the real world? Is Bitcoin ready for the rigors of checkout? Customers use their credit cards and enjoy near instantaneous transactions. Why would they wait for Bitcoin when they can soon push their carts full of RFID chips across a scanner, a process that will transform checkout? What is the future of this Bitcoin in brick and mortar retail? I ask you, Andreas Antonopoulos.
Oh, thanks, man. Well, I don't think people will use Bitcoin to buy stuff at Walmart, not for a very long time. It's not ready. The infrastructure isn't there. The point-of-sale systems aren't there. The corporate structures aren't there. The legal systems aren't there. It's going to take a long time until you can pay for your groceries at Walmart with Bitcoin. And even if that time comes, it's probably going to be more like a loyalty card, so you sign up for it in advance, rather than a instantaneous cash-like transaction, which is ad hoc. So, nah, it's going to be a while.
And 11 years later, still no RFID card chips to push straight across the cash register thing, and still no paying in Bitcoin at Walmart. Though I think if you use those coin machines, you can trade your coins for Bitcoin, and that's pretty close. But yeah, it didn't get there. The RFID thing I have seen in Uniqlo, this fancy clothing store. They put the RFID tags on all their clothing. Then they have a checkout where you kind of throw the clothing into a basket. It passes through the ring, registers the RFID, and adds it to your receipt. So we're pretty close on that, at least in some high-end clothing stores, but not in general Walmart yet. We'll have to check in maybe in another 11 years, see if they're using Bitcoin in Walmart. But that's about it for this episode of the Bitcoin Group. Sorry we didn't get more guests. My prediction, my story of the week, although it costs $48,000, and I'm not suggesting that you buy one. I certainly don't have one. I just suggest this Godzilla VR game. If you see it in any cool Dave & Buster's or any arcade that you go by, as you can see, it has strings here with the VR helmets that come down. You put that on. It has a floor here that tilts up and back as you play the game. You hold on to this machine gun kind of thing, and it blows air in your face as you move up and down, shooting targets and fighting Godzilla. So that's my story of the week, Godzilla VR. Check it out at an arcade near you. I think you'll get a kick out of it. It's been great to be here with you guys. Sorry we couldn't get more guests this week. Sometimes it just doesn't come together, but I thought there were some good stories. There were some people in the chat, and you guys deserved a news update. So I just did a quick news update, and hopefully we'll be back again next week with more guests and more stories. And maybe even they'll declare somebody else as Satoshi Nakamoto. We'll see. Until next time, bye-bye.